Ah, wonderful, guys. Check it out. It's only 94 degrees today. We're finally catching a break from the heat wave slash rain wave that we've been having here in South Florida. And since we're in the midst of this kind of heat wave, I have more air conditioning work, and that's what's going on today out here on this Toyota miniature van. I believe this is the one that was once upon a time at a dealership for its free oil change, and they told her she needed like $4,000 worth of like oil leak repairs, to which we found that it needed a crush washer O-ring on a VVT line, and that was all. So I saved these people like $3,000-$4,000 last time it was here, and it is now back. Kind of a similar situation. She went back again for her free oil change and let the dealership know that the AC system was inoperative on this particular Toyota. And they kind of quoted her the whole shebang, said it needs a compressor, a condenser, the TXV valve. In fact, I got the paperwork over here. What else is on there? TXV, of course, the refrigerant, and I think like an evap cleaning service is also what they said. Now, I agree that it is blowing hot. Now, you guys can't feel it because you're inside of the TV, but that is hot air coming out. The AC system appears to be engaged. AC off, AC on. Yeah, it's on. I didn't hear the compressor, and we're blowing hot. So yeah, there's definitely something going on with the system, but I don't know if it needs an entire system. I'm doubting that it needs an entire system because the last time, like I said, that this car was at this particular dealership, they just kind of threw the whole shebang at this customer, and that sort of appears what they did today. So we're going to get this thing nosed into the shop over yonder, and we're going to diagnose and inspect this system to see exactly what the problem is. All right, pulling in, I hear some clickety-clack action going on. You guys hear that? Tickety, 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 tickety. Now that is with this compressor switched in the on position. So turn it off. I'm still hearing the tickety, 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 tickety. Okay, let's pop the hood and see what's up with that noise real quick. Where's my little dealio down here? There it is. Popping the hood. Let's listen for that noise business first. Maybe it's a fan clicking away down there. All right, Toyota Sienna, what's in store for us right here? Looks like a 3.5 liter. I'm hearing that clicking noise. Let's put this hood in service mode. Oh, danger, danger, danger. That's a smashed and bent hood from excessive service mode. Hang on. We'll put that right there. Yeah, look at that. See that fold? We need a light. Here, let's try that. Stick light to the rescue. Yeah, this hood was once upon a time placed in extra service mode with the prop rod, and then someone tried to close it, and then they bent the hood. You can see it's been that way for a minute because of that rust right there where the paint fell off of it. So that's a compromised body panel structure. Anyway, back to that clicking noise business down there. Let's see. Well, that compressor's, I see it kind of running. Tough to get a good view on the thing, but I see the clutch running around, and it appears to be the source of that clicking noise. So I would actually concur that this vehicle needs a compressor. I see both of the fans are running. This is good. So let's get this thing apart, and we'll start to peel out the fan units. And once the fan units are out, we can get this compressor on out of here. So I'll take this intake business out. See that little guy? Okay, the coolant overflow bottle coming out next. Just kind of pick that guy up. And the hose for it, I'll show you guys. The hose for this guy runs across. So we're going to disconnect it here and right here at the radiator, just like so. Take that guy out. Okay, so since we have to pull the radiator fans out, we've got to remove probably this upper hose here, because what I'm going to do is unbolt these fans from the back side of the radiator, pull these guys up and out, then we can go in down below that alternator and get a hold of that compressor down yonder. So that's sort of the plan here. So what I must do is I'm going to reach down and get a hold of that valve There's a petcock valve down there. Give that a couple turns. Let this thing drain a little bit of coolant. Yeah, take a gander. See the coolant draining out, right? You can't see. Little pink stuff right there. So we'll drain that out a little bit. Not a boatload, just enough to get this upper hose here empty. And then once that thing's emptied out, we can remove said upper hose. So, grab some pliers. Wiggle this guy back. Check it for fluid, which we have none. So now we'll tuck you back in there. Then go back down and conserve the remainder of the coolant. We'll close that valve off. That's the big plug for the fans. It's all electric fans. So now, we pull these bolts out. I think there's just tabs on the bottom, not bolts, but if there are bolts, then we'll have to take those out as well. There's a tab. Interesting. Pry bar. And we have no bolts at the bottom. This is good. Here she is. Dual electric fan assembly with fan control module. 2 fan motors, 1 control module. Similar to that Volkswagen that we did earlier. So anyway, now we have boatloads of room in here. Check that out. So that's the compressor in question. Right down yonder, we've got one line here, other line here, a couple electrical connectors, and a serpentine belt to contend with. So I need to hook the AC recovery machine back up, pull all the refrigerant out. Let's get her hooked up here. One service port, service valve, service connection. Yep, it did have refrigerant. Okay. The reason I'm not sure is it's now past the weekend and this car went home for the weekend. So I don't remember if I left it with the charge in it or if I took the charge back out of it. Anyway, we have to take the charge back out now. Machine's powering up. Don't make a liar out of me, machine. Wake up. Do it. Initializing, blah, blah, blah. Yeah, okay, so moving on. Emergency. Moving on, let's go ahead and start unbolting things. I will start with the electronical connections. So we got this one connector plug down here. Seriously? There she goes, there's one. Got it. Next plug. I know these are super duper tough to see, you guys. That one's on there pretty good too. I need a pocket screwdriver. See, the tab's like right there and I gotta untab it. Yeah. Now. Disconnect, please. Got it. Okay, so that's 2 down. I think 1 more to go around the front side over there. That one's going to be much more difficult to see. It's right here. The other two sensors were pressure sensors of some sort. This one is the one for the clutch. Got it. Okay, so those are all disconnected. Let's go in from this little hole right here, get the belt loose, and then we can begin to unbolt this unit after we start the recovery. Next hoses, blah blah blah. Yeah, we're recovering. Okay, more tools. Okay, so taking our gander down there on that tensioner pulley, I have a ratcheting wrench attached to it. So what we do is we push that guy back, and I'll flop that wrench over and just kind of jam it in there. If I can make it stay on something, which I can't. So here, let's try a screwdriver. Just have to wedge that thing. Just sort of wedge it in so it can't go anywhere. See that? So now I can reach down and we can flick that that belt. Flick that belt off of the pulley. I don't even know if you guys can see. Yeah, I'm reaching right through that little hole right there, and we're gonna get that belt disconnected. Bear with me here. I want to just flick it off the compressor and leave it on the rest of everything else. That way it doesn't get all tangly everywhere. Okay, so the belt's off the compressor. The machine's done evacuating. Let's go ahead and pull the refrigerant lines off of the compressor. Gravity, got that one, I saw it. Saw it fall. So we'll pop these guys off. Second one's at an angle right there. And this guy, we can take you and just kind of stick it up here. Push that one down here, keep that out of the way. So now we've got pretty much free rein access to the front side of this compressing unit. Here, give myself some more space. I'll disconnect that alternator connector, and I'll pull off this little harness business here too, just to give us some more wiggle room here for that compressing unit. Okay, so now I think I need a 12 millimeter. It's going to be a ratchet and an extension. We can pull that whole assembly off, up, and out. There's one of the nuts, and there should be another one. Yeah, right below that one. That's our second nut. Yeah, got it that time. Stay. There's two of them. Good. So those were the two easy ones. The hard one is like right up here. There's not a chance that you guys are gonna be able to see it, but if you just like follow the end of my flange here, you can see kind of where I'm pointing to. So there's one right here, and then straight down and under is that next one, which I got my finger on it. So what I'll do is I'll come down, I'll get my tooling on the fastener, right? And then I'll come in, take it loose, which it wasn't even tight. That was weird. There we go. That's the third one. Now we already found that fourth one. That's on the top, right? So I just need to go in there and find it with my flange again. We'll unscrew it, then that whole dealio should start to come free here. I think this one might be a nut. Yeah, that's a nut. So we got two studs and two bolts, I guess, because that's a nut. So that unit should just be kind of free ranging it now. Pull it back off those studs, see if she's gonna come free 99 or not. Hope I don't have to take the studs out. That would be annoying-ish. I don't remember having to take studs out of these things. Oh, hang on, belt's got me caught up too. Ah, okay. Now I see why the book says 3.4 hours. This thing is not a joke. Hey, it's free. Look at that. So now we're kind of flip-flopping around. We'll come out. Not banging on the radiator fins, and this thing's still hot. Oh man. Hot, 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 hot. Whew. So what happened to it? Let's go see. Yeah. That's what happened to it. The clutch has exited this world. That's our clutch, and it died. It died a horrible, gruesome, mangling, rubberized death. Wow. Okay, well, let's drop a new one in and do this again. All right, let's go ahead and drop this new unit down back into its new home here. Again, we're doing this without gouging up the front of the radiator. I mean, you could gouge up the front of the radiator if you wanted to, but it's not really advisable. I wouldn't do it on purpose or anything. Slide this thing in. There's one of the studs. The other one's up here. So I need to line the stud with the holes in the housing for the compressor. And I know you guys can't see. I'm really sorry. We're gonna try to get through this. All right, that's slid on. So now we have that unit over the studs. Let's go ahead and throw the nuts on it just to reduce parts count on the battery. Secondary nut. That's the one up in the front. Okay, that one's threaded up. Time for the bolts. Now both of these, same length bolts, that's good. That one through the hole, can't even find the hole. Hang on. My fingers will find it, that's guaranteed. Okay, that one's in. Now this one, this is actually a bracket. Ah, look, see that? I misaligned the bracket. I gotta put the bolt through the bracket and then into the compressor. And then into the block. There. So, this next bracket where's the hole in the bracket? Oh man. I feel it. I can feel it screwing into the engine block. Oh Lord. There. Okay, so all four of the fasteners are on. This is a horrible filming experience. I'll tell you that right now. Clickage. Start plugging stuff back in like the nader. There we go. And I had one more fastener, that's that bottom one. find the appropriate angle for our dangly spinny bits here. Get my hand on it. It's like buried up in there. Got it. There we go. Okay, so now this unit is attached. We all agree? Yep. We'll plug in. There's the sensor to plug in. And then this little guy right here will get you plugged in. That's the compressor's primary connection. And then this little guy, where did I plug that little guy in? Ah, I see it. It's right there staring at me in the face. A little pressure sensor. Please. Oh, I got the connector sideways. Too much darkness to contend with. There we go. Okay, that's all on. So now, we gotta go down, reach around, grab a hold of that belt, and slide the belt over the clutch. So close. Got it. I know you guys couldn't see anything. I'm really sorry. This is close quarters combat in here. But I got a belt on a compressor now. That's looking good. Take my tools back. Beautiful. Next, we are going to need to install the hoses onto the compressor. So, let's bust out the O-ring kit. You guys come over here. Yep. That one's good. And then the one down below will be harder for us to reach, but we're going to reach it anyway. Going in. It's down here. So let's see. This guy. You got to do this without gouging up the aluminum on this manifold too. You scratch up that O-ring surface and it's gonna leak, and that would be bad because then you got to put a new line on it. Okay, get rid of that guy. Here's the new one. Slide that on. That's good. Now there's two caps on this compressor, so you got to pull those guys off. Oh good, it doesn't leak. How refreshing. So that one goes there, right? That means this big one, that one's gonna go there. Sure, why not? Curiously enough, this compressor has dual bolt patterns on these manifold lines. See, there's a bolt right here, and I'm also screwing in the bottom bolt right here. So it's got dual bolts. Click. And this one right here plugs in straight in. There's the bolt. Clickage. That guy's on. Good. So that compressor is installed. Let's back it up, and we're going to drop that fan assembly back in and reconnect it next. fan coming in. Again, taking care to not gouge up the front of the radiator here. Just maneuver it on down. Line that clip up right there, snap that in, unscrew at the top. Now the two tabs at the bottom are already in line because that thing's not going anywhere. Tighten that one up, tighten that one up, good. Plug in fan module here, and then we have to re-secure the harness to the fan. I took those off when you guys weren't looking. I cheated. So that's good, that's all good, that's good. Let's put our coolant hose back in. That's good there. Nice. Next up will be the coolant overflow bottle. So we've got this peg right here. That's going to slide into that grommet there, but first let's run the hose around and plug that back in to the radiator, and then we'll set the hose back up in its little clip bracket businesses there. See that? Slide the peg in the hole. Thickage. Okay, that guy's in. Good. Let's get some trash out of here. Okay, so this operation might be nearly finished, but we're not done because we need to install a new desiccant pack in the condenser. This is what's known as the receiver dryer or the accumulator. So what we've got to do is go down below over here and get to the bottom of the condenser. Pardon the wind noise. It's a little warm. You have to get to the bottom of the condenser in order to get that pack out of there. So if you look, see that little guy? Hang on. Illuminators. So right there, that's the receiver dryer. But I can't exactly get a straight line on it to get that plug out. So what I'm going to do is disconnect the bottom of this support. Wrong way, silly. We're going to disconnect the condenser at the bottom of the support and kind of pry it out in a way towards us, and that should let me get that pack out of there. Yeah, a little better. Okay. It's like that. So what I'll do, we'll wedge something in there to hold that back. Let me see.
All right.
You out of here, buddy?
No, I'm over there going to help Sammy cut some holes in a van.
Got it. All right. Well, I'm hanging out down here. I'll see you tomorrow, Dave. That's a different Dave. Not our Dave. That's a new Dave. Not my new Dave. He's just a different Dave. I mean, Dave's not mine. I don't own any Daves. I'm not an owner of people. Anyway, let me get this thing wedged in here real quick. Bear with me, folks. All right, that's about as good as we're gonna get regarding visuals and whatnot. So that didn't work either. My screwdriver fell out. Anyway, there's the little cap. I'm on it. Come out. Yeah, there's our cap, and then up there somewhere. I need to get a tool to dig that out, but the pack is packed up inside of that tube. Okay. Okay, so that didn't work with the pliers. Let me try to dig it out with this little pick right here. Trying to get a hold of it. Come on, desiccant pack. I kind of got it. Hang on, let me stick my head in here. Yeah, there it is. I had to go in there with the little hook one, stick up into it and spin it around and get a nasty grip on the thing, and then it came out. That's our moisture absorbent pack right there. That's the desiccant pack. So over here in the box, we get the new one out. Which way was this pointed? Doesn't matter. Put that back. And we got a new plug with a new seal that goes in the bottom of it right there. Okay. Tightening, tightening all day long. And contact has been achieved. That guy's tight. There's our mount. Push that thing back up in position like so. Clickage. All right, that guy's good. Let's hop out of here, climb out of here, get out of here. Down on the floor. Let's fire the machine back up, put this system into a vacuum. While this is vacuuming down, I'll put the rest of the intake stuff back on, then we can fire it back up after a recharge and see if it's going to work. And vacuum system, since we're headed apart, I'm going to do 15 minutes instead of the normal 10 minutes. 15 minutes. Beginning vacuuming procedure now. Sucking down, there we go. Okay, see you guys in 15 minutes. Okay, the machine is complete. We're about to install 1.910 pounds of refrigerant into the vehicle. It's been holding vacuum. It vacuumed down for 15 minutes. That's designed to remove and boil out any and all moisture that is present within the system, because we did have the thing opened up for about an hour. Hey, let's see. That's back together. Coolant's been refilled. The surge tank has been topped off, so that's all good in the hood. Belt's back on. The desiccant pack has been installed. I think we're good with the actual physical manipulating of components. So let's get this thing charged up I'm gonna throw a thermometer in the dash. We're gonna get a readout on it, and then we'll go from there. A few moments later, looking good. The system has finished. We're gonna go ahead and hose compensate real quick. Hose compensation is where the machine just adds more refrigerant into the vehicle system to compensate for how much is in the lines. That is all. So that's all ready to rock and roll. Let's head back into the cabin and fire this thing up. Let's see what she does. What's it gonna do when it comes for you? Yeah, firing. Okay, climate control, power up. AC in the on position. Compressor. Compressor didn't come on. Okay, so now this little project's starting to get real. So we had no AC system actuation when I turned it on here, okay? I can see right now, if you look at the gauges, we've got about 280 PSI on the high side, and about 60 down low on the low side. I know that's far away, but it's tough to see. Now, the only reason that AC compressor is on is because I went in and manually turned on the magnetic clutch relay. See that right there? If we turn that thing off, we're gonna watch those pressures start to fall up there on the machine, right? So if I were to go over here and let's shut this down, I'm gonna turn the system down, system's off up front, okay? So we're gonna go back to, we're gonna hit auto again, there we go. AC commanded on, right there. Taking a look up at the pressures again, they are equalized. So we do not have AC compressor actuation when we turn it on with the AC control panel. We're gonna go up front and take a closer look. Yeah, 250 hanging out, 80 down here hanging out. Something is wrong. That should not be static pressure. And looking down that compressor, we can see it's not running. The clutch is not engaged, okay? So even though I've got that system turned on, the clutch is not engaged. So now, we come back over here, climb back in. Temperature's coming up in the dash too. We're up to about 85 right now in the center vent, okay? So we're gonna go ahead and click this back on again, compressor on. And I just watched it peak some pressure. Yeah, something's very wrong with this, because it just shot up to like 300 and then fell back down. Yeah, pressure's coming up. Look at that, too high. And that's too high, and I know it has the proper charge in it because I've already evacuated it once again and then rechecked. We have fans running, that one and that one, so our fans are both shooting along, but we're way out of range here. That's too high and that's too high. So why do I have too high a pressure on both sides? And the vehicle will not turn this system on. Now I've been going through and looking trying to find DTCs. I was just scrolling through a PID menu just now and I saw where it has given us and registered one diagnostic trouble code. So we're gonna go over here, codes only. We're in the AC module now. Current codes. And now we don't have the code. We had, I think it was a P1469 AC system flow sensor circuit. I think that's what it was. Let me see here. Maybe it was 1479. I think 1479 was it. So I'm gonna go back into actuator test since it didn't show up. We're gonna turn that clutch back on, and our pressures are still way wrong. I don't get it, because they shouldn't be up as high as they are. And I'm wondering why the vehicle will not command. Yeah, there we go. Look at that, 400 PSI again. The vehicle will not command this on. So I am a little stumped, but I had that 1479 trouble code. And if I scroll down this PID menu here, AC trouble code's 1. See that right there? So now right here we're saying there is one code stored in the system. So let's try to retrieve it. Maybe it just had to reset just now. So we're gonna let's see, let's back out of this guy again. Compressor just shut off again because I backed out of the menu. Current codes, did it store it? No. I swear I just saw the thing. Maybe it's in history. There we go, 1479 flow sensor circuit. Now the flow sensor, shut this off before we blow something else up. The flow sensor on this is integrated into the actual compressor itself. Now they used to not be serviceable, but I think Dorman makes them. The flow sensor is that little guy right there behind this AC, or I'm sorry, alternator connector. This little sensor going into the top of the compressor unit. So the only thing I have at this point is to realize that I've got a trouble code for a flow sensor that's on a brand new compressor that I just put in. It's running pressures through the moon. Recover. So looks like I have to love my job so much, and I've got to do it twice today. So I'm gonna go ahead and recover this thing back now and order another compressor, and then we're gonna do it again, guys. I'm probably not gonna make a video the second time, but at least we managed to make it turn on, and I showed that it sort of turned on and worked, and we can clearly see, if we look at the old one, that thing is annihilated. So I'm wondering if the condition that currently exists that ate up this compressor is the reason that the system won't turn on. Or do I have two things going on here? I got a crappy compressor over there with a bad flow sensor, and there's something else going on with the system that is keeping our pressures in line where they're supposed to be. Regardless, this is a failed repair. It is not going to work. The vehicle's not leaving in 15 minutes like I wanted to, so I've got to do this job again tomorrow. That being said, I'm going to go ahead and close this one out right now with my tail tucked between my legs. This is the kind of thing that happens, guys. Really sorry. I mean, I'm not sorry to you guys yet. I didn't do it to you, but I'm sorry to those who own the van that I said I could get them their van back today. I lied. You're not getting your van back. But I'll get it back to you tomorrow. No worries. So tomorrow I'm hitting drawing board again. I'm going to grab another compressor, make sure that one's good. We're going to swap it out one more time, get the system to power back up. And if the flow sensor and the variable displacement features on this compressor don't come to life and get these pressures in line, we're gonna have to go in there and pull this wiper cowl out to get to the thermal expansion valve back on the firewall. I really don't want to do that, but we will find out. So guys, let me know what you think about this situation in the comment section down below. Do not forget to engage that like and subscribe button right down there. And most importantly, have yourselves a fantastic day, better than this one. See you guys later in a video, in a failed repair attempt, into Toyota Sienna, in a transmission.